In this lesson, we will learn how to configure and connect Android and iOS mobile devices. If you do not possess both devices, we still recommend you to watch this lesson to the end, since we are going to cover the basics of the device manager in ZAPTEST. Let's start with iOS. First, make sure that you have the latest version of iTunes installed. If not, go to apple.com/iTunes/download, download the iTunes app, and then install it. We're now ready to connect our iOS device. We will be using an iPhone 6, but you can use any other iOS device. After connecting the iPhone, we should tap the Trust button on the device. Please disable the password protection on your device so that ZAPTEST can install and launch your apps. ZAPTEST has a special tool that works with mobile and remote devices. It's called the Device Manager. We can open it by using the Device Manager button in the main toolbar. It will show all the connected devices. Click on the iPhone and see the device information. To automate iOS devices, app installations should only be done via the Device Manager, because it installs the app together with ZAP Agent, which enables the automation of the device. And to install the app via the Device Manager, we should have Apple certificates. You can get them by joining the Apple Development Program. To install the app, you should click on the Install button in the toolbar. Let's try to install the Firefox browser. Select the Firefox IPA package, the provision file, and the certificate, and provide the certificate password. When the installation is complete, the app will show up on the application list. If you don't have those certificates, ZAPTEST comes with a pre-certified app, ZAP Browser. You can download this app from our Downloads page. Before you install it, make sure to click on Package Already Contains ZAP Agent checkbox in the Install Package dialog, and only then click the Install button. Our ZAP browser is signed with ZAP Enterprise Certificate for security reasons. So, to launch the browser app, instruct your iPhone to trust this certificate. Open the Settings app on the iPhone, then open the General tab. Scroll down and find Device Management option, and open it. Tap on ZAP Technology Certificate. Then tap the Trust button. Now we can use the ZAP browser. Please don't skip this step if you are using the ZAP browser from our portal, otherwise you will not be able to launch it. However, this process is not needed if you have your own certificates. Using the Device Manager, we can launch the app by double-clicking on its icon. ZAPTEST will launch the app on the mobile device and automatically open ZAP Viewer, which will connect to it. Through this ZAP Viewer, we can automate the app. For Android devices, we should install the drivers needed and enable the ADB interface. ADB stands for Android Debug Bridge, and ZAPTEST needs it to control the device. There are many Android vendors, and each vendor usually has its own ADB driver. Also, different versions of the Android system have different ways to enable the ADB interface. Usually, Android devices have a special settings option, Enable ADB, but sometimes this option is hidden and can be revealed by tapping several times on the About text in the Settings app. Please check the documentation in our portal on how to connect Android devices and how to install Android drivers. If you have some problems, you can start a discussion topic on our forum, and a ZAPTEST team member will help you as soon as possible. Here is an example of a configured Android device. Unlike the iOS, the Device Manager will show all of the device's apps on an Android. Furthermore, you are not required to install Android apps via the Device Manager. However, for convenience, you can still use the same Install Package button to install apps on your Android, but the dialog doesn't require certificates. To launch the app, make sure your Android does not have password protection. Then use the application filter to find your app and double-click on its icon. The device manager will launch the app and the ZAP viewer. We can do additional tasks by using the device manager. These options are available for both iOS and Android devices. On the toolbar, we have few buttons. Install Browser button installs ZAP Browser to the current device. In case of an iOS device, we also provide certificates. In case of an Android device, it just installs the browser. Restart button restarts the device. It can be useful when we use remote connection to the PC. Show Device Log button shows the device log. The log is useful to troubleshoot any problems with the app on the device. And the Screenshot button takes a current snapshot of the device's screen. This also can be found useful in troubleshooting a remote device. Thank you for using ZAPTEST.